Welcome again, everybody, to Insight Meditation Community of Charlotte. We're happy you're here, and welcome, Zoomers. Happy you're here. Let's see, I had to mute you all. You don't mind, right? You can hear me. Okay, good. So let's smile at each other. Let's remember that some of us are friends we haven't met yet. So let's just take a moment, maybe even, we can wave in a room too. It doesn't have to be Zoom. And if you want to stand up and stretch, thank you for modeling that, Noreen. You can stand up and give yourself a nice stretch. Okay. So we'll now, yes, we have quite a few, 22 there, and I don't know how many here. We have a big crowd tonight. We're really, really glad you're here. And it looks like just one other Dharma leader. Hi, Clyde. Glad you're here. Okay. So tonight I'm going to talk about Upekkha. Remember Upekkha? What all the blank faces? Let me give you another word for it. Equanimity. Ah, I know that guy. Equanimity. Yeah. Another translation is equipoise. That's Bhikkhu Analayo likes to say equipoise. And I've got used to hearing that when I did a retreat with him, and it's really, I like it a lot. I'll be flipping back and forth. Jack Kornfield calls it peace. He translates Upekkha as peace. And I like that one a lot too. So it turns out it's the fourth of the divine abodes, the four divine abodes. So heavenly abodes, places we can rest our heart and mind. Anybody need to rest their heart and mind? Thank you. I'm with you. How about you guys? Need to rest your heart and mind? Yeah. So loving kindness, metta, mudita, compassion. Wait a minute. No, karuna, compassion. Karuna, compassion, mudita, joy, and upekkha, equanimity. Okay. They all are rooted in metta. Loving kindness is the root of all of these mind states, these really lovely mind states. So I want to explore this mind state. I have here why this topic, and this is from my New England roots, because it feels like the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Doesn't it? I know. I mean, Sunday was the hottest day on record. The last 13 months have been the hottest ever recorded. Politics, so much divisiveness, horrific war, famine, all, you know. Then we have our personal challenges and our personal difficulties that we're dealing with, that are real. So how can we stay even keeled? How can we get even keeled and keep our balance and really avoid falling into despair and negativity? The question is, instead, can we be an instrument of peace? Can we be part of the solution? We can't if we're depressed and overwhelmed, right? So I was so delighted last week with Clyde's talk because I knew it was it would preclude my talk really well. And so I'm going to actually review Clyde's talk. Clyde, you're here, you can correct me. So if you weren't here or you didn't hear it, please YouTube it. It's on YouTube. It's really wonderful talk. He talked about 10 ways that he manages his anxiety and stress. with the state of things now. We talked about meditation, so a daily practice, sometimes maybe even a longer practice of mindfulness, kind of waking up our awareness every day so that we have that as tool. The body scan he mentioned, very grounding way to calm the mind. So just moving from body part, relaxing different body parts all the way down. You can do it anywhere. We talked about gratitude, just remembering what we have. This is really uplifting when the simple things, the simplest things that we have to be grateful for. Loving kindness for yourself. So loving kindness for others, bringing that into the world is rooted in your own loving kindness toward yourself. Same thing with compassion. So the wish that others be free from stress as you wish to be free from suffering or stress. Talked about generosity, kind of giving, being in service of others, losing yourself in service of others, and concrete generosity uplifts us when we let go and give. Guarding the sense doors, discernment in what you let in. We don't have to let all the news in all the time. Okay, we can use music to calm us. We can take a walk and look around at the beauty around us. He also talked about karma, and this one teacher calls it the boomerang effect. So planting wholesome seeds will produce wholesome results. Maybe not in the next hour. We don't know when they'll come to fruition, but it's uplifting to be planting wholesome seeds. Smile at someone. What happens? They smile back. That's instant karma. Being in nature, seeing impermanence, seeing that everything's always changing. And so when we practice these things, and then we take it into our lives. So we need to, we can stay connected with the body that we're connected with in our meditation practice. As much as we can, we come home. Drive in the car, we can breathe and be aware of breathing. Walking, we can be aware of our footsteps. The body is always there in the present moment, ready for us to just be aware. So tonight I really want to hone in on the effects of these practices, the calming effects, and get more familiar. It's kind of like, like being in your own bed. When you're in your own bed, you're familiar, you know how to get comfortable, you know how to let that be like a heavenly abode versus being in hotel rooms. Okay. So the more we can hone in and be really familiar with equanimity, the more we can recognize when we're experiencing it, and we can learn how to develop it. So characteristics. Oh, I put here, I came up with this. When the going gets tough, the tough get equanimous. I kind of like that, didn't you? So here we go. Characteristics: calmness, composure, even-mindedness, serenity and tranquility, resilience, poise, inner balance, inclusiveness. And I'll talk about that one more. So it's about developing an inner calm regardless of external circumstances. We can't necessarily change what's going on outside, but we can affect what's going on inside. It's that story about that quote from Thich Nhat Hanh that in the refugee boats escaping Vietnam during the war. He said, if one person in that overcrowded, scary boat in the storms remained calm, it affected everyone on the boat. So that's the idea that, and of course, easier said than done. So that's why we're going to take a closer look. Let's look at what the far enemy of equanimity is. It's judgment, preference, being in contention with undesirable thoughts or emotions, being in a fight. I don't want that. Lost in hateful thoughts, self-righteous anger, thinking from an egocentric point of view about them as inherently different. So again, the far enemy, essentially judgment and preference. The near enemy, and I catch myself in this. So the near enemy is kind of what masquerades as equanimity, and it's indifference. It's like, I don't care. I just don't care. You really do care. You're convincing yourself you don't care. And you might even think, well, I'm being equanimous. When it's indifference. So it's something to watch for. I want to share now just a very short practice. It's Jack Kornfield. And in this short practice are a few things that you'll get a sense of equanimity. One is an image of someone who is very peaceful that you might know. And then it moves into some phrasings, kind of like metta, may I be peaceful. So I'll guide you in that. And then the last part is when we go to a much bigger, vaster sense of the mind, like sky mind versus our own little mind. So please get comfortable. And I want to just add to this is to not be afraid of stress, suffering. You're going to say yes to everything. The way the world is not what you want it to be. It's hard to have a peaceful heart when you're not in control, when things are so uncertain. And I love this. This is from Jack Kornfield. He said, it's Linus when his blanket is in the dryer. I know, it's kind of scary. Okay, so please get comfortable. Reflect on the value of a peaceful heart. It's not indifference or lack of care, but it's a steady and spacious and peaceful heart amidst it all. Picture someone you know who's among the steadiest and most peaceful people. And feel that energy, the blessing of it. Maybe someone passed. And know that it's possible for you as well. To be peaceful doesn't mean you won't experience the 10,000 sorrows and 10,000 joys. They come and go. May I have a peaceful heart in the midst of it all. You can repeat that silently to yourself. May I be steady at ease as things come and go. Like having roots that go into the earth, unshaken by the winds. May I have a peaceful heart. May I stay steady at ease amidst it all. May I live with balance and ease. With equanimity as all things come and go. Now imagine that your mind is not limited to the size of your head, the size of this room, the room you're in. Your mind is as big as the sky, a vast, open awareness. Clouds come and disappear. Rest in the vastness. It is your home. Words and sounds, thoughts arise in this expanse of awareness. They're like the clouds. They dissolve back into silence, and you are the space of awareness itself. Whatever arises, bow to them. Thank you. Thank you. Relax into it. Witnessing. You can open your eyes and just kind of be aware of the effects that might have had. So during the day, we can recognize the presence or absence of even-mindedness or equanimity with a general feeling maybe of well-being, or maybe a sense of stress. There's stress present now. We want to be inclusive. Whatever is arising is fine. We don't choose what comes up. We choose how to respond. When we bring our loving kindness, we bring our capacity to be vast, to be the sky. We can see that these arisings don't stay. We can always come home to the body, to the breathing. I'd like to say once we develop and experience, and maybe at the end of our meditation practice, when we're aware of more equanimity, then it's like, okay, I'm all set. I'm going on now. I got it in my back pocket. The fact is, all day long, we will be reinforcing it. We will be feeding the wholesome, feeding the calm. When we are aware that we're lost in thought, we can see that it brings stress. So when we're aware of sensation, the sensation of breath, the sensation of the body, we can't be feeling and thinking at the same time. The moment we come home to feeling, we're out of that stress producing mind state. Okay. So this is a quote from Lion's Roar. This practice of equanimity, of inclusiveness, can give us courage. The Buddha said that when you have equanimity, you have a mind of immeasurable peace. And I want to share Sayadaw Tejaniya. Having thoughts of wanting and not wanting, liking and disliking. Remember, judgment is the opposite. Having thoughts of wanting and not wanting, liking and disliking, judgments and fear, they're not a problem. They are only a problem when they become the attitude by which we relate to reality. So when the bait comes, thinking about some stressful situation, when we notice it, oh, okay, there's that thought. And this time we don't grab the bait. We don't take the bait. We can kind of have a moment of real kind of contentment that we're developing in our awareness. We're learning how to respond versus react. And another Sayadaw Tejaniya, watching the unskillful qualities of mind is more important than watching the skillful qualities. That's because if you can keep the unskillful qualities at bay, the skillful qualities automatically come in. They automatically come in. So I guess I will stop there and wish you well on the path, peace and equanimity. And when you don't have it, that's okay. You didn't make a mistake. You didn't do anything wrong. But when you can see it, smile. Smile.